telling me. White is getting a left and right from the big defenseman, Jared Cowan. Two more scraps are going on in the center ice area. Travis Moan is getting it taken here. Neal. They're going to do their best to get White and Cowan out of this right now. Neal is still firing the left hand in on his Canadian player. Mullen, that's Mullen. He's taken a few. And on the backside, you got Phillips and Cassian and
fucking Canadians.
And these guys come onto the ice, and you just can feel it coming. And Bouillon is absolutely taking 3 or 4 here from Smith. Bouillon is still taking them.
I am not in the right mind frame for this. Sounds to me like someone's having a shitty fantasy baseball season. You wanna know what kind of fantasy baseball season I'm having? Nope. The kind of fantasy baseball season where you spend a while with Junichi Tozawa on your roster, just getting you holds and whatnot, and you realize that Koji Uehara is the 8th inning pitcher, so you make the switch. You go with Uehara over Tozawa, just in case something would ever happen to the Red Sox bullpen. Ridiculous. Anyway, not sure if you saw the game last night. Joel Hanrahan goes out after Bailey gets put on the DL. You think, this is fantastic. I just murked the Red Sox closer out of nowhere. And, Red Sox decide to just keep Uehara as the 8th inning guy. There's no promotion to closer. They're just going to take Tozawa and jump him over Uehara to closer. Just so Uehara, keeps his 8th inning niche. No, you're right, because it has nothing to do with the fact that you're second to last in runs, dead last in total bases, and bottom 5 in RBIs, despite having your 3 keepers be Jose Bautista, Billy Butler, and Brandon Phillips. Yeah, okay. Now I'm sure you're going to sit there and tell me that Yovani Gallardo was a bad first draft pick. Dude, you're stupid. I'm going to go grab a beer. Fuck, all the beer's gone! Did you invite Yovani Gallardo over? Isn't he, Mexican? Shouldn't it take, several dozen beers to triple your BAC? What a girl. Makes sense. Certainly throws like one. Whatever. That's your transition into power rankings, I guess. Team that's made the championship 4 out of 5 seasons. This is the lowest it's ever dropped. Fought with undefeated years. But just so Nice, new team name, has fallen to 14. Yes, I know exactly what you're thinking. I got the number of teams right this week. I have just as many victories as my team now. Nice job, guys. So, 13. This next one was kind of hard because I did promise Zerwitz that he'd never get last place ever again. Well, then I debated putting him at 13, but, you're going to have to forgive me. I'm going to be looking back and forth because I plan these things out ahead of time and don't really do a good job at the transitions here. But, Zerwitz, you are ranked dead last with 0 wins. And, however, you have the most points against in the league by far. And as a matter of fact, and this will go along with my theme of having more quantifiable evidence for my power rankings, if Brendan Kane had your schedule, instead of being 4-1, he'd be 2-3. Kind of sort of by the skin of his teeth. Franco beat you with 195 in 1 week. I don't know if that happened. But I don't know why I'm getting off track here, because you're not even 13. Franco is 13. And I know there was a lot of recent hoopla. thanks. About what's his face, Tony Cingrani. Yeah, you know, good pitcher. Funny thing with him is in AAA this year, before he got called up, batting average and balls in play was at 158. That is like beyond luck. That is, I don't know, must be playing with like 7 infielders luck. Right now in 2013 in the majors, his batting average of balls in play is 224, which isn't 158, but seeing as like statistically speaking, average batting average balls in play is 300, Tony Cingrani is going to revert back to the mean pretty quickly. I know you still have David Price. He comes around and Gio Gonzalez starts pitching a little bit better. Not going to have much to worry about, but right now, you're not as good as Zerwitz. He's better than you, though. You mad, bro? So, Zerwitz, that makes you 12. 12. You should be honored, because as I say that in this jersey, it reminisces Peter Bondra feelings inside me. But that's hockey, and you're a Flyers fan, so you don't know shit about that. So, actually, number 11 is really not that difficult. I kind of find here that there's a pretty big gap between 10 and 11, and the bottom 4 teams are kind of in a struggle to find their mojo, if you will. I know, Lucas, you'll probably be upset and distraught that you're this far down, because you did quote me the other day as saying that you're one of the best fantasy players in the league when you set your lineup. So congratulations on setting your lineup. That's a great start. Some other things about your lineup, though. You should feel pretty lucky to be ranked at number 11 with only 132 innings pitched. That's dead last by 41 innings. There are probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams that almost double the amount of innings pitched, which doesn't sound like much, but you get a point for every third of an inning pitched. Just suggestions here, I don't know. You've got 11 quality starts, which you think, oh, well, maybe he's making up for it in the relief effort, but yeah, no, you are right at the bottom there. Bottom 3. Thanks to Zerwitz, who has 5 saves. So, you're ahead of him, though. So, here you go. You are second to second most points against in the league. So, a little bit of bad luck, perhaps. You're setting your lineup. You got players on the DL. Yeah, you could go up from here. You got people offering you trades. I'd suggest that you take 1 or 2 of them. Hint, hint. Jose Bautista. Now he's trying to trade his best players. So, ringing in at number 10, we have Black Hole to Nowhere. This is a little difficult because you are tied for first in the league with quality starts. Like I said, there's some pretty solid separation between 10 and 11. But I think most of the issue I have with your team as of right now is with the hitting. I think you have 6 players averaging less than 2.4 per day over the last 15 days. It's just not good. And I mean, one of the players over 2.4, Zimmerman, has only had 10 plate appearances over the last 15 days, so his averages might as well not even count it. So you did drop a little bit. Still have no idea why your team is named that. I got nothing. You're at 10. Screw that noise. Got better things to watch. Nah, seriously though. Tell me the word, Jake. I'll sit here all night if I have to find a cure to multiple sclerosis. It's not a joke. Serious thing. You gotta be feeling for Josh Harding right now. don't want to see the Blackhawks win. Do what it takes. I'm going to lab all day tomorrow anyway. But, yeah. We also say the team name now, but Red Dick is in at 9. Multiple reasons. You're actually pretty close with number 8, who cue the awkward transition out of the goal music. That'll work. It's usually pretty difficult to rate somebody at a certain position lower down when they are in the top 3 most points against, but you are also in the bottom 5 for total points for. Somehow, though, you're beating Franco by 36 points despite only having 35 this week. I'm supposed to make a joke here, aren't I? Nah, that basically did it for itself. But also, over the last 15 days, you only have 2 pitchers with multiple quality starts. And that's also just not a recipe for success in general. Not that I have reason to talk. So, with Jake at 8. 9. I should say Cole Hamilton. You are at 9. 8. The last 15 days, you have 5 batters who are averaging 1.6 points or less per day. Pretty rough. Fortunately for you, your pitching has kept it together a little bit, even though your strikeouts aren't there with Steven Strasburg just yet. It looks like your pitching will probably be okay, with the exception of the Red Sox bullpen, which, I mean, you've basically got all those broken pieces there. Then again, the only teams that you've beaten so far are 1-4, so. Really hope you guys appreciate that I'm missing the blue team beat Sidney Crosby. Dude, that's pretty classless. Huh? You just got some nipple action. Huh? You're better. So, bringing us to number 7. This one goes to Coin. Not even going to say your team name because you don't have one, and you're stupid at this point. You're at number 7. Could have been lower. Could have definitely been lower. You should be happy with this one. You have 2 quality starts on your roster over the last 15 days. I know you're one for picking up and adding and dropping and just playing whatever card you're dealt on that starting pitcher day, or whoever's on the free agent wire. It's not a great recipe, but I'm sure you know what you're doing. Your hitting's really keeping you in this one. You've got some decent closers. I mean, if you think Crawford and Pujols are going to stay healthy all year, more power to you. So maybe my most questionable call of the week would be putting Cheeky Monkey at 6. There's going to be a little argument backlash there, but when it comes down to it, Greg has the least volatile pitching staff in the league. They're all getting positive points, with the exception of Ryan Vogelsong. His hitters don't strike out. He has the fewest strikeouts in the league by 40 points. Get this. While the league ranks him at 10 based on his head-to-head / overall record, whatever the tiebreakers are, he has the 3rd most points in the league, and he's actually closer to 2nd than he is 4th. That's not going to hold up. He's not going to be 2 and 3 much longer. He's definitely in the top 6, not top 5, but he's better than the rest of us so far. As usual, Cheeky Monkey. Who do you think should be in 5th place?
Me.
Well, who do you think's in 1st place?
I don't know, probably Joe.
All right.
Who you picked up?
Who's in 2nd
Probably
place?
Josh Hamilton. What?
Well, then who's in 2nd?
Probably Cam to Yu Darvish for that sole reason.
All right, Cam. Unfortunately, JP has no jurisdiction in the realm of power rankings. That's actually my job. No offense, but if I had your schedule, I would have a winning record as well. Granted, I'd only be 3-2, but you're 4-1, so you make the top 5. But let's see here, standings. I'm gonna go over here to the classic points against column. And yep, you have the least amount of points against. So, sorry, dude. Yu Darvish doesn't carry you into the top 4. Did I mention I'm missing the Caps game for this? Yeah, so I'm kind of winging it at this point. You probably already know where you are at number 4 now, JP. This is actually pretty funny because I was looking at the stats and stuff. I think you're pretty sure you have the best walks to strikeouts ratio, which is pretty good. Your hitters are doing well, even though Martin Prado's not been doing too hot lately. Lowry has always sucked. For some reason, you still have good pitching. You're welcome for that, Clay Buchholz. I think you ranked yourself at 3 when you called me, so I basically just had to put you one down. Put you down a notch there. It's really difficult to say anything bad about the top 4 teams right now. Apart from the fact that in the 3 or 4 games that you've won 4 games, but let's check out your team here. Asta Trout, number 4, ladies and gentlemen. In the games you've won so far this year, your opponents have always scored 222, 211, 212, and 253. So go ahead and we'll win some games where your opponents are putting up big numbers, and I'll be a little more impressed. That's all I gotta say for now. It's not too bad. God, my neighbors think I'm so weird. Anyone watching this video thinks you're weird. I had a neighbor wake me up knocking on my door at 11 o'clock last night, letting me know that he was going to be crawling through my bushes raccoon hunting. So at number 3, we have Stanton Like My Daddy. A rough subject right now. Just as Giancarlo Stanton was starting to heat up, he went to the 15-day DL. You know, if I had done power rankings these last couple weeks, with the exception of 2 weeks ago, you would have been right there at number 1, I'd say, after weeks 2 and 3. But you take a little bit of a hit here and fall at 3. A lot of that is on the shoulders of Josh Hamilton and Melky Cabrera right now, who almost have as many strikeouts as they have total bases. Still, though, like I said about JP, it's very difficult to say too many things negative about your team. When healthy, it's definitely one of the best. John Lester, taking a couple hits lately. Yeah. Damage control is still there, but he kind of came back down to earth a little bit. So, I know a lot of teams are done it for you now because you claim to go 18-0 and meet Greg Padmore in the championship game. Meet him week 19. That would make more sense. But as for now, all I have to say about your schedule is you better look out for week 7 because you're going to lose. Also, on the plus side, ELXC is repping the top 3 this week. But of those 3, I'm pretty sure Joe still holds the record for most touchdowns in an Ultimate Frisbee game. Cherry picking motherfucker. So we come down to our final 2. Really between the last 2 guys, it's just a pure battle of pitching and hitting. You could make an argument that either could be number 1, but it's pretty difficult to just make the jump to number 1 when you're still a newbie. I was wrong earlier when I claimed somebody was tied for first in quality starts. I realized that Brendan Kane here, or I should say Bobby's V card, is still a solid half dozen quality starts ahead of the competition. And that's a stat that I'm really a fan of. I feel like it holds up pretty well. Unless his pitchers start falling apart, but I don't see Bumgarner going anywhere anytime soon. Dempster maybe, but I don't know. I kind of like what he's doing right now. Homer Bailey also, just a stud. Not to say your hitting's bad, because obviously you're getting these points somewhere. You're second in the league as far as that's concerned. But you lost to Pat Note in the first week, so it's kind of difficult to just go ahead and put you ahead of him. Not too many signs of concern here. You got 264 points last week in a victory, which is slightly below average, but that's still pretty good on an average week for some of us at least. So at number 1, the only guy left, Saigon Door Gunners. Let's see. He's the only team in the league with 200 runs, only team in the league with 600 total bases, only team in the league with over 200 RBIs, and I'm pretty sure he has the most strikeouts in the league too, and he's basically right there in the mix for quality starts. He's got the number 1 most points in the league, and while he still is near the bottom half for points against, it doesn't really matter when you're scoring the most and not losing. Really not much to say. I feel like I said everything I could about his team last time. But no, I'm not even gonna try. I'm not gonna try whipping something out. Sergio Romo got -6 points today. So while I admit that it has taken way too long to get these next set of power rankings up, I will apologize. I'm kind of hoping that if I can't get power rankings up on a weekly basis, at the very least, I can hopefully get some pre-week matchup predictions going, which would be kind of cool. But definitely power rankings, still more to come. I'm going to keep counting on you guys to nag me about that. I'll give you the matchup of this week, though. And right now, it is between Suck My Weeders and Just So Nice. They're tied in record at 1-4 and at score at 110 points apiece. I gotta tell you, I feel like if Luke wins this week, it's gonna get to his head and he's gonna start doing some stupid crap. If I win this week, I'm still gonna suck, but that'll put an end to the Luke ego boostage. I mean, you never know. You also got a big match going with JP and Cam, 4-1. I know I probably wasn't too nice to either of the teams this week, but one of them's gonna get to 5-1 and make a little bit more of a statement there. Also, Cheeky Monkey and Stanton, like my daddy, I'm going to go ahead and I'm not even looking at the score right now, but I'm already regretting not putting Greg in the top 5, and I think since Greg is on his way up and Joe's on his way down from 1, this could be a shocker. Greg pulls even, Joe loses 2 in a row. Speaking of upsets, Zerwitz is playing Pat Note this week. That's not going to happen. Pete's playing Tom. Ooh. This is actually going to be a fun one to watch. 2 teams right there on the edge, kind of battling at 2 and 3 to break to even. It's really a toss-up. I've got no idea. Red Dick plays Yo Adrian. Gonna go ahead and give this one to Red Dick, seeing as Yo Adrian was still in the negatives until yesterday. Elms College and Bobby's V-Card. This is another good one. I think Bobby's V-Card is probably going to squeak out just because I ranked him so high. But you never know with John and his damn pitching rotations. I've mentioned to some of you about kind of getting me a video clip here and there. If any of you want to just like put something together and send it to me so I can insert into a video, even if it's not power rankings related, something that I can just throw up at the beginning of the week. I said throw up, it's gross. Anything related to trash talks, trade offers, this, that, whatever, making fun of Luke. Pretty much willing to just put anything up there into a video. We need to create a little more animosity here. I know Joe's been wanting to do that, but now that his team sucks, it's not really possible. No, but thanks for hanging in there, guys. Don't worry, the Caps will get eliminated from the playoffs soon enough, I'm sure, and I'll be all about fantasy baseball and ready to rock. So, as soon as I get a couple more wins under my belt and start rolling, you guys better watch out because I'm moving up from 14 next week. It starts with beating Luke.